Happy New Year and welcome to my celebration. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook and amateur baker, and I'm here on this channel typically sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. Now today is not a recipe, obviously. Today is a tag or a no tag. Joan from Joan's Pointed Plate decided we would do a Christmas Day tag and a New Year's Day tag so that we can celebrate with you by responding to some questions that all of us in the group have come up with. And you can check out all of the other channels down in the description box, as well as the questions. I will add those down there as well. And I was looking for a party hat, thinking I probably don't have one, but I've got to have something on for New Year's, just like I did for Christmas. I had my Santa suit on, and I was searching through my things, and this is what I found. So I thought it was perfect. Paul was not so sure, but I love it. So I am celebrating in my tiara, and I hope that you'll celebrate along with me as we go over these questions. Number 1 comes from Bernadette P., a subscriber, I'm assuming, of Joan's channel, since she was the one accumulating all of these questions. And it is, what is the most wild and crazy way you rang in the new year? I don't really do anything wild and crazy, so I've gone out to the bars and things like that when I was younger, but I don't really do anything wild and crazy. Now, my partner Paul, when we went over these questions, talked about the most memorable one that he has, and it was a bit not necessarily wild and crazy, but it was very elaborate. He did a New Year's Eve party at his aunt's house, I believe it was, in 2000 for the millennium. And they were all dressed in tuxes and dresses, and it was all very done up. And he even made some glasses for the occasion. And I have one here. It has 2000 written on there, little balloons and champagne glasses and party hats. But he had these made for the event. And don't worry, that's just 0 sugar cranberry ginger ale in the glass. Nothing alcoholic. But that was his. I mean, I've never done anything that crazy or out of the ordinary. I do remember one year I did do, when I went out for New Year's, I had a shirt that I sewed silver fringe, like tinsel, on so that it was kind of like, I don't even think I have a picture of that, but that was kind of funky. I don't think it was wild and crazy necessarily, but I had that sewn underneath the arms, kind of like a fringe, a silver fringe for the holiday. But that's probably about the wildest and craziest thing I've done. Now, my brother Dan one year did go to Times Square. I would never, ever do that. That is just a little too much. I don't like crowds. I couldn't deal with that. But aside from those two things, neither Paul nor I have really done anything too wild and crazy on New Year's. Number 2 comes from me, yours truly. How do you like to celebrate New Year's Eve? A quiet night in, a big party, or something in between? Now, aside from the party that I told you about that Paul had done for 2000, we don't really do anything. We don't even watch the ball drop. We don't do any of that. We're usually playing video games or doing something else if we're not in bed already. So nothing too extravagant for us. We're homebodies. We're staying here and enjoying some relaxation. Number 3 comes from Val over at the Valerie Reese channel. What is one thing you are looking forward to in 2024? And neither Paul nor I had anything that we were really looking forward to except getting back on track, because I have really been letting myself go. I've been giving myself too much freedom and not tracking, not doing the things I know I should be doing. And it's been made abundantly clear what the difference is when I've been doing all of these flashback videos. I notice a big difference from when I started the channel to now. I've put on about 30 pounds that I need to work on getting off. Paul has some weight he wants to lose. So I think that's the one thing we're looking forward to, is getting ourselves healthy, getting ourselves back on track, and just living our best lives in that way. Number 4 comes from Jason over at the Average J. What is the most exciting or unusual thing you have ever done on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day that you will always recall fondly? Now, I already mentioned Paul, so that was his big thing. A great memory for him was that 2000 New Year's celebration. But as for me, I don't really have anything that I remember fondly. I do remember one year when I was very young, my Uncle Jimmy, who's just 6 years older than I am, he was visiting from Okinawa. He was in the Marines. He had come home, and we were enjoying a New Year's celebration with him. That one I remember. I'm not exactly sure why, but that one sticks out. But otherwise, nothing really stands out about most of my New Year's or New Year's Eves. Number 5 comes from Teri over at the Teri W channel, and she asks, are you a person that makes resolutions? No, neither Paul nor I do any resolutions. We used to years ago when we thought we had to do it. That was the thing to do. As we went on, we never stuck to them. We never really adhered to them. So what was the point? And as Paul said, he doesn't need a set day to set a resolution. He gave up smoking, and it was the 4th of July. So he doesn't need anything specific to set a goal for. And I'm pretty much the same way. I'm not going to wait until January 1st to get things started with something. So neither of us are ones for resolutions. Number 6 comes from Joan over at Joan's Pointed Plate, and it's kind of a follow-up to the question from Teri. If you do resolutions or goals or whatever you call them, have you set any for 2024 that you want to share? Well, I've already kind of mentioned that Paul and I want to get healthy. We want to lose weight. We want to get back on track. And that's pretty much the only resolution that I have, except I do have to get busy on the cookbook. All of the pages are done. I just have to get everything organized. But with the holidays, I'd have been hoping to have it out in the middle of December. But with all the holiday stuff and things going on, I just couldn't get to it. So that is another plan for this month, is to get that cookbook ready and out to you guys as soon as possible. And speaking of books, I would love to get back into writing this year. So I'm praying that I do stick to that and force myself to just sit there, even if I do half an hour a day. At least I'm doing something towards my goal, and that's all I can ask for. Number 7 comes from Kim at A Girl in Her Phone, who sadly is not going to be participating in this tag. So sorry, Kim, that we missed you this time, but I totally understand. Life sometimes gets in the way. But she asks, do you have a traditional meal you eat on New Year's Day? No, we do not. There's nothing we traditionally eat for New Year's Day, not like Christmas or Thanksgiving, things like that. There's nothing set on the menu. We just have whatever we have. I have on occasion for New Year's Eve done like little cheese and crackers, things like that. But even that's not really set. Doesn't always happen. Number 8 comes from Sandy over at Life with Sandy. If you could look back at one memory from last year that you wish you could relive, what would it be? As many of you know, my brother Tom passed away this year. He was a year and 2 months younger than I was. So he was my younger brother, and he was a quadriplegic. So he was homebound, bedbound for a lot of the time, or he was in a wheelchair. So my siblings and I had gone to visit with him one day shortly before he passed away. And I would love to just go back and relive that, just to have us all together again one more time. Now, number 9 also comes from Sandy over at Life with Sandy. What did the previous year teach you? What lessons did you learn over the last year? Well, for me, it is that I can't give myself any slack. What I've been doing is letting things slide, having a little bit more to eat, not tracking food, things like that. And I know after this past year, I can't let myself do that. Yes, I can give myself a treat sometimes, have something a little extra. But what I've been doing it's not just the food I've been eating, but how I've been eating. I've been eating too quickly, not getting the flavor, not getting the satisfaction. And so I keep going back for more, trying to get that satisfaction. I can't do that. I have to get back on track. I have to focus on my goals, getting back to being healthier, and get off of this train that's going in the wrong direction. So that is the one thing that I've learned this year, that I need to focus, not give myself any leeway, and just be strict with myself. I mean, strict within reason. I'm not going to make myself rigidly eat chicken and broccoli. I didn't lose the weight doing that, and I'm not going to do it again this time. I just have to focus on eating in a healthier manner than just devouring things like I have been. And number 10, the final question, comes from Edie over at Edie's Adventures. In what ways did you grow spiritually, emotionally, and physically in 2023? Aside from growing physically this way, which I didn't want to do, I don't think that I've had any growth in that way. Things have been pretty much status quo except for the weight gain. But the main thing, as I've said before, is that I'm still trying. I'm not putting in as much effort as I did before. But what I used to do previously is once I reach my goal weight, okay, I'm done, I'm ready to move on. That's not how it works. I have to stay with the program, keep myself monitored, and I am doing that to some extent. Granted, not as much as I should be, but we'll be working on that in the new year. All right, so those are all of our New Year's Day tag questions. Don't forget to check out the other channels doing the tag linked below. I'll also leave the questions down there if you'd like to leave a comment with your responses. I would love to see that. And if you enjoyed this bonus tag video that we've given you, then I'd appreciate you doing the usual, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video, such as this one, which is coming up on a Monday when I don't normally share a video. Also, while you're in the description box looking at the other channels, don't forget to look a little further. You'll find my blog, my Amazon storefront, my Built Bar Rewards, Stretch Rewards, Skinny Syrups code, and my social media, both my Instagram and 3 Facebook groups that I'm part of. So check out that description box for all sorts of information. And now I will leave you with a toast for a very happy and prosperous new year. I hope that whatever goals you set for yourself, that you follow through with them and you stick to them like I plan on doing myself. So until next time, bye.